Hi, welcome to the Baer Essentials Learning Lab, where you can learn a new term every day. Today's term, as you can see on the whiteboard behind me, is Ein li ella manayin Talmud lomar. Ein li ella means I only know. Manayin means from where do we know? Talmud lomar means therefore the pasuk says. Ein li ella goes together, then there'll be a few other words, then the word minayin, followed with Talmud lomar, and that's how you'll see it. The way it works is as follows. The brisa, for example, will say part of a pasuk. And then after saying part of a pasuk, it'll say that the law of that pasuk only applies, or I would only know that it applies to something specific. For example, maybe it only applies to men. Then the brisa will ask, well, how do I know that it also applies to women? And then it'll quote another fragment of a pasuk. So the way it goes is as follows. A fragment of a pasuk. Then it will say, Ein li ella, which means, based on that fragment, I would only know that the law applies to X. It'll state X. Then it'll state Y. So X will be men, for example, Y will be women. And it'll say, Y, women, minayin. How do I know the law applies to them as well? And then it'll say, Talmud lomar, because the pasuk says, it'll quote another fragment of a pasuk, and that fragment will include women. So we have a chiddush, a new idea. As mentioned on another video, there's 4 basic steps to a chiddush. There's the new idea, then there's the mistaken idea that you would have thought if you didn't know the new idea. There's the basis for the mistaken idea, and then there's the source for the new idea. So we'll see how that works in this structure. I'll give you an example from a Gemara, which is in Maseches Sota. The Gemara says, Tanya idach. We learned in a different brisa. Now it quotes the fragment of the pasuk. Ko sevarchu, like this you should bless as Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Israel. The pasuk is talking about the priestly blessings, and the Torah is telling the Kohanim, the priests, to bless Bnei Yisrael. Now we have our structure. Ein li ella. Based on that fragment of the pasuk, I would only know that the mitzvah of blessing the Jews applies to Bnei Yisrael, to the sons of Israel, which means to males who are born Jewish, Bnei Yisrael. Gerim, that was X, now comes Y. Gerim, converts. Nashim, women. Ve'avadim mishuchrarim, and freed slaves who are also converts. Minayin, how do I know that the Kohanim have to bless them as well? If it just said Bnei Yisrael, I would think it has to be born male Jews. So how do I know that the Kohanim also have to bless females and converts? And now it says Talmud lomar, because the pasuk says after that, Amor lahem, say to them. What does that extra word lahem, to them, teach us? Lekulau, to all of them. It includes not only Bnei Yisrael, but it includes women and converts. So, how does it fit into the 4 steps? The new idea is that the Kohanim have to bless women and converts. The mistaken idea is only male-born Jews. The basis to the mistaken idea is because it says Bnei Yisrael, sons of Israel. And the source for the new idea is the extra word lahem. Now the obvious question is, how does the extra word lahem come to include them? Maybe because lahem is really excluding them, and Bnei Yisrael is excluding them, and there's a rule, when you have 2 things excluding the same thing, it actually comes to include them. So in this structure, once again, we start out with a fragment of a pasuk. We say that that seems to indicate that the halacha only applies to a certain group or to something specific. How do we know it has a wider application? We quote another fragment which tells us to include the other application.